Hello, my name is Kevin Anderson with the Avaya Serviceability Engineering Team. This video is about configuring the treatment service on the AS5300 with the provisioning client. In today's demo, I'll show how to assign a pool to a domain, add an announcement file to the servicing pool, configure treatment for malicious call trace, remove the file association, and remove the pool from the domain. We'll be starting this demo with the provisioning client open. You can find detailed instructions in the Avaya Aura Application Server 5300 Release 2.0 using the provisioning client guide at the link shown. Now let's get started. In order to configure treatment services, the first thing we're going to need to do is make an association between the mass files, recordings, and the provisioning client. So we'll click on Services, Announcements, Treatment. This opens up our treatment services portlet. And so we'll want to click on the treatment cause file tab. Select the domain that we're going to be working with. This is DS2 AutoSIP1. And we want to select the pool that we're going to be working with. We'll use this one. And then show. And this gives us a view of all of the files we already have created or associated. And in this case, we're going to add a test file, and the file name needs to match identical to the file name on the mass server. So I'll just use Kevin Testing MCT as the file. And then click on Save. And we get a message from the system telling us the treatment file was saved successfully. And you can see here, if I scroll down, you can see in the list that we have the Kevin Testing MCT file now associated. And it's really important when you're creating these files to make sure that the names are meaningful here. You can easily identify the files that you're going to be working with so that anybody else who comes along will understand what the file is. Some of these file numbers, probably not a good idea. Okay, now that we've associated our files, we need to assign the pool to the domain. So we'll click on the Assign Pool. And we'll view our ds2autosip1.com domain. Click on the view. And we can see that our current pool is no pool assigned. So we'll select one of the pools. We only have this LE pool available. And we'll select that and click on Save. And we get a message that the treatment pool was assigned successfully. Now we need to go to our treatment cause group. And here we have our ds2autosip1.com domain, and our selected pool is LE, and we'll click on the view. So this is where the real work is going to take place, and I'm going to just scroll up a little bit here. So the first thing we need to do is add a group name. Now the group name needs to be unique to the pool, but it doesn't have to be unique to the domain. So we could use the same name for another domain. In this case, I'm just going to call this Kevin Testing. And since we're going to be doing malicious call trace, we want to look at the available reasons. So these are messages coming from the system for either call not completing or some other event that happens. Now there are two events that are related to malicious call trace, and I'll just scroll down to them. And here we have the malicious call trace failure and malicious call trace successful. And I'm just going to use the failure item because it corresponds to my recording. And I copy the reason over to the selected reasons. Now if I wanted to have multiple, I could select another one. So let's just move the successful over just for an example. This will be the order in which the items are evaluated. We can move them up and down in the order. So if we had multiple things, we could move them up and down. So I'll just demonstrate that. So we could move that up. And now successful is at the top. But we don't want that. We only want to have the failure because that's the only recording we have. So we'll remove the successful back over to the other side. So there we have malicious call trace failure as our selected reason. And so now we want to associate that with our file that we loaded. So if we scroll down to available files, we can see Kevin Testing MTC, and then we copy that into the selected file Now, whenever that, let's just call trace fails, the user will get played the file associated with Kevin testing MCT. That's why it's really important to make sure that your file names are meaningful. When you see them in a list, you'll be able to identify them easily. The next thing is we can set how many times it's played. In this case, we'll just leave it at 1 time. We don't need to play it more than once. And the last thing is the route. So after the message is played, we can route that call to a specific destination, and you would put that in here under the route. And the next thing we need to do is click on Save. And we get a message that the treatment group was saved successfully. And we can scroll down to the bottom of the page, and we can see our treatment groups. And if we look here, we can see Kevin testing treatment group. If we want to view the treatment group and see what the settings are, we can just click on it here, and it will load it back into, and we'll be able to take a look at it. And this would allow us to modify our settings and save them back. So if we wanted to change something with the way that this group was set up, we could modify it here. And so basically that completes all of our configuration for our treatment service. The next thing we want to do is delete the treatment service. So from here we can just click on the delete, and this will remove our treatment service association. And since this is a service affecting operation, we're asked to confirm with the admin password. So we'll just type that in and then confirm. We get a message that the treatment group was deleted successfully. Now the other thing that we need to remove is the file association with Kevin testing. So we'll click on treatment cause file, view our domain, and you can see our DS AutoSip2 domain, and we'll select our pool, show. We'll just scroll down to the Kevin testing one. And here we have the Kevin testing MCT, and we'll just click on delete. Now this doesn't delete the file, it only deletes the association between the mass and the AS5300. We'll get a message that the treatment file was deleted successfully. And that concludes our demo for today. Thank you for your time today. We welcome comments, questions, and feedback at mentor@avaya.com or on Twitter @AvayaMentor. For more details or related information, please visit support.avaya.com. Thank you for choosing Avaya.